related to this. I was recently asked in a radio interview about the NSA contractor and the information that has been released. And one of the things I focused on, and has been reported to us, that the vast majority of the data that's been stolen that we've been able to assess today has had very little to do with just surveillance. Most of it is in other areas that have compromised national security. Can you, in broad terms, talk about, say, the percentage that we know of that was dealing with surveillance and the percentage that was dealing with other aspects of national security? And can you, in broad terms, touch on some of the other areas that you believe have been compromised by these disclosures?
Well, that's also difficult. I can just say that the vast majority of what has been potentially compromised goes way, as I indicated in my oral statement, goes way beyond the revelations about domestic surveillance, which I was given to understand that was his primary concern. And so what he potentially, what he accessed, what he scraped, what he potentially made off with, transcends that. So it's quite serious.
Can you say?
It's hard pressed to ascribe a number.
Okay. Well, can you give is it say 10% or?
I would say that probably less than 10% has to do with domestic surveillance.
And do you believe that?
It's a ballpark.
Do you believe there's a targeted plan in terms of the type of information that is being released at this time that's becoming public? And
I don't know. We've looked at that. There sometimes appears to be a pattern with the timing of some of these revelations, but I don't think we have enough evidence there to make a hard case.
Well, I know my time has expired. I want to thank you all for your appearance today and the work that you're doing. And I'll yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And I just want to, Director, for the purpose of clarification, you called it
your appearance today and the work that you're doing. And I'll yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And I just want to, Director, for the purpose of clarification, you called it domestic surveillance. To my understanding, there were no domestic surveillance programs.
I should have said put that in quotes, so-called domestic.
So just something that the press has referenced that way, but there are no domestic surveillance programs that were as part of that. That's accurate, right? That you're talking about.
You're specifically referring to Section 215 of the Patriot Act,
right? Which is not a surveillance program, is it not?
I don't characterize it that way, but that's the way it is popularly characterized.
I didn't want.
I should have said in quotes domestic surveillance.
Yeah, I just don't want people to walk out of the committee thinking that 10% of the 1.7 is dealing with domestic surveillance.
Well, I was referring to what, in the context of the question, as to what Mr. Snowden claimed was his primary concern, which was, quote, domestic surveillance.
Right. And I just wanted to make sure that was clarified for the record. Thank you for doing that. Mr. Nunes.